Give us the go ahead. Nope.
Oh, is that the go ahead?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
If you didn't understand what he said, he said,
I said welcome to
what
Welcome to What the Podcast. Okay, I think anybody listening or watching at home
Gosh.
deserves an explanation of what this is.
This is a talk box.
Okay.
The way this works is this plastic tube that's running up into my mouth is making sound that's coming out of my keyboard. Oh, wait. And then I'm shaping it with my mouth.
Wow.
And you can't fully hear all the consonants and stuff, but you can get like...
Is that what they use in the song Mr. Blue Sky? Please tell us why.
That's like a vocoder, kind of similar technology, but they'll like run
Mr. Blue
piano sounds like through
through
voices,
words.
yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
Mr. Blue
Hi, everyone.
Sky.
Welcome to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan,
I'm John.
and together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch, as always, our producers, Cara and Olivia Tafolla. We couldn't do it without
We
you.
really couldn't.
That's
Never
right.
forget that.
Lots of things to talk about today.
Yeah.
Lots and also
Too many.
none. But before we jump into that,
Yep.
Poddex.
Ooh,
Go to
back to our old thing.
poddex.com and use the code WTP.
Woohoo.
Save 10% on your next order of podcast deck questions.
Going not.
Ladies, gentlemen, if everything in your house had to be one color, what color would you choose?
I like that
Whoa.
question. It's kind of like a twist on what's your favorite color?
It is.
Oh, but then you think,
That's tough.
I have a struggle with this one.
Go ahead.
Because right off the bat, I would say coral, because coral is my favorite color.
Okay.
But then I don't think I could live with a coral.
Yeah. I
That
don't
seems to be the
House?
big
I don't
question
think I
is,
could live
would you get
with
sick
you
of
having
it?
a crow house?
Yeah, no.
So I think
That's when we live in different houses.
I would change to think of a muted coral, but then part of me also would want to do like a nice neutral, whatever that
Like
would be.
earth tone?
See, right off the
But
bat,
only
I was
one,
going to
then it
say
would be
white.
boring.
But then it's like you're in a kind of feels
Clinical?
like, yeah, like a hospital.
Yeah.
Because I was like, white is like neutral. So then maybe like brown.
Yeah,
But then it's like everything is the same color.
Yeah, it's all
That's
dark.
rough.
Oh,
I would say like a neutral tan, or I was also weirdly thinking like a very light pink, like this color of my band.
oh, that's
Something,
cool. That's
something like a little more softer.
if you don't know the name of that pink, it's called millennial pink.
Okay,
There is
well,
a name for
I just
it.
heard that recently. Doesn't
and I was
make any
also
sense.
I was also gonna choose that too.
Okay, I don't know. Really?
I was thinking like a super super light tone. So millennial pink would work.
I would definitely go dark blue. I
Dark
think.
blue?
I like
Wow.
navy blue a lot. We have navy blue couches in my house, and I really like them. Or I could also see like a forest green.
Wow.
Wouldn't you feel like you're in
I
darkness
could see
all
that
the
too.
time?
I was going to also say like black, like just a black
Oh
board.
my
Yeah,
God.
I almost
Or
feel
like
like that would be
gray.
too dark though. I'd need like
I was
a
gonna say
little
black
bit
too,
lighter.
but I feel like that would freak me out.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Everything
That's
just
why I feel
feels
like navy
small,
blue,
but-
because then you don't get stains on stuff. It's kind of
respect
pretty.
it. Just so you know, I respect it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
John, I have a weird question
Go ahead.
right off the bat.
Go ahead.
This is something me and Olivia have talked about before. When you picture in your head
Oh yeah, yeah.
a calendar,
Yeah.
what does it look like?
Like the year when you see months.
Yeah. I should say when you picture like the year in your head, what does it look like?
That's a weird question.
Like you like
When thinking of the months, the days, the everything, what does it look like in your head?
what's it? How's it formatted?
Sure.
I think my brain kind of has stolen the iPhone format of a calendar. Like
Really?
I kind of like scroll through, like I can kind of see it like linear, like up and down. Which
Like
So it's
vertically.
from top to bottom.
yes.
So do you start with like January at the top? Would you say?
I mean, yeah. If I had to visual it from like if you're talking about just looking at a year, yes, it would start with January at the top and then December.
So like thinking about the date right now is like partially down, or is this the top of the scroll now?
Oh, it's the top of the scroll.
Interesting.
My Apple Calendar has kind of like burned an imprint in my brain.
Yes.
Because that's just kind of the one I use. Not only can I make a distinction?
You can.
The one that you use on your laptop.
Oh yeah, I like that
Because
calendar.
it immediately comes up as the full month.
I do
Yeah.
like that
it's in like
calendar.
cool squares, and you can kind of scroll to the side,
and you can
or
kind
up
of see
down,
what's on each day.
Yeah, because I would
Interesting.
say like I do whenever I'm doing something based like in podcast or I'm trying to figure out timelines, whatever. I go to the calendar on my laptop, and I kind of like lets me see.
Time.
Yeah, like okay,
Interesting.
slide over or whatever. Well, how do you see
Cara,
it?
I want to hear from Cara first
Oh.
because I've heard Olivia's answer.
So everyone else has.
Yeah.
I definitely see it how my like paper wall calendar is, because I've had an actual
paper
like
wall calendar?
paper wall calendar
That
for
is so you. I
maybe
love it.
3-4 years
Okay.
now.
Wow.
Different paper wall calendars.
We're so different people, you and I.
I know.
You like journal every day. You're like very, very like organized.
I
don't
try
think
to
I
be.
s-
I
She
try to
is.
be.
She is.
The one thing I know I do every day is get coffee. That's pretty much it.
And that's kind of nice to have like a rhythm. You're like, do you feel off when you don't have
Thank you for making me
coffee?
feel better. Like, yeah, that's nice. If you think about it, it's like cool.
Do you feel like off when you don't have it?
Well, yeah, my headache starts to rage.
Oh
so,
wow.
Yeah,
You have a
my God.
caffeine
That bad.
addiction.
Yep, addiction.
Yeah.
Do you drink
Same.
cold or hot coffee?
Always cold. I hate
Really?
hot drinks of anything, really.
I almost don't.
Ooh.
I don't know what it is about it, but I feel like cold coffee is like a treat. So when people say they have cold coffee in the
think the
morning,
same.
I'm always like,
So I'm
what?
always treating it.
Yeah, it's
You're
always,
always
like
treating yourself.
It seems like a frappuccino
like-
to me.
Well,
John,
whoa.
this
No
is one
shade.
thing that we are very alike on.
Okay.
I do not like hot coffee either.
Really?
Yeah, there's like, when I say not even just hot coffee, like I don't like hot drinks in general. When I go
Yeah.
in
Like a
my
hot
head,
toddy.
I think like my body temperature runs a little warm because the
Me
moment
too.
I take a sip of a hot drink, I'm like sweating. I'm like, oh god, it's so
Dude,
hot in
let
here.
me tell you something. Olivia was there, so we were wedding dress shopping, and we went to Panera, and then my mom, she was like, I feel like a hot coffee, like with her salad. She got a hot coffee, and then she was like, am I old? Am I old now? Is this an old thing to do? I was
Yes.
like,
You
said yes.
yeah.
You know
I
what's
think I'm
funny?
also old.
I could literally have a hot cup of coffee with any meal.
Oh,
Every- I
Breakfast,
do,
lunch,
usually.
dinner. I love it. I love it. In between meals.
usually do.
I
It's
need that
always
icing
hot
about
coffee
the
for me.
iced.
Like it's just warm and comforting. Like
Yeah.
just like a good hot cup of coffee.
Even when I started
Yeah.
working mornings, I transitioned from nights to mornings, and I like hadn't figured out a routine or anything. And I remember like whenever I would run out of cold brew or whatever, I would like make a cup of coffee and I'd put it in the fridge and like let it cool down.
Really?
Because
Yep.
even like plain coffee
Oh,
cold
God, that
seems
sounds
better than
terrible.
than hot, really, to me.
that literally sounds terrible.
I
Even-
respect
That's
it.
my nightmare.
I respect it, but for some reason I just don't do it. Like I don't know. It's harder to make too. Like I can just make hot coffee, but to do like cold brew coffee or something, you have to like plan ahead.
Yeah.
Or you
I
just
think so
make
too.
a hot coffee and put a bunch of ice in it.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
but then it's
God.
all
Watered
watery.
down.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay, yeah,
back to the
calendar.
calendar.
Back to the
I don't
calendar.
wanna,
Okay, so wait.
I'm only focusing on this because it's so interesting to me.
So wait, so Cara, when you imagine like months, do you imagine them as a calendar?
Like when you
like
picture
the whole year?
entire year of 2021, how do you picture it in your head?
I picture it January, February, March, April, May,
Okay.
June, July,
Oh.
August.
So it's
September,
like a
October,
bunch of
November,
blocks.
December.
So it's blocks.
And then in the month, the
wrong.
same is left to right.
Like two
Reading
rows of
everything
blocks.
left to right.
So it's so kind of similar to John because that's how the
Except
Apple,
John's is like vertical, hers is horizontal.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
one at a
like the
time.
vertical. Also with the computer, with the Apple computer calendar, I still
quirky,
haven't
so-
figured out how to add things in the computer one.
Okay, so I'm
I'm
gonna
about to
explain
blow
mine.
your
yeah,
mind.
so
Oh, no.
I picture the calendar in a line, in a straight line.
okay. Yeah,
And I think we pinpointed why. I see like kind of same thing, like what you guys are saying, like the entire month is a block, so I can like see, the days, and then February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, like all the way to December, just in
Go ahead
one
and keep
Did you
going.
forget
straight
the last couple
line.
months?
Doesn't matter.
Blah, 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 blah.
And,
blah, blah.
and I think it's November.
I feel like I know why.
Okay.
Go ahead, and I have a theory of why, but go ahead.
Well, my first theory is that when you're looking at your calendar on your phone, you swipe like this way.
Okay, interesting.
Not the theory
It's
I
farther
thought.
back.
No.
Go ahead.
Think deeper. It's been ingrained in me
Think
like
deeper.
for
From
a
day
long,
one.
long time.
I think there was probably, and I'm really guessing. Here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I think there was probably some sort of horizontal calendar in some sort of classroom as a
You
child.
nailed it.
There it is.
When I picture a calendar, I picture my kindergarten class.
This is so awesome.
And so this is the crazy part, which I'll ask you in a second, is like, yes, but it's just like in a line. I'm like, okay, when I picture where we are in the year, we're like kind of partially through, not quite halfway through the line, but like right there, April.
yeah.
Here's
That
the
is so
craziest
odd.
part. When I imagine a year, I imagine it as an oval, and each month isn't like your guys' is so much more organized. And I think this is how like I get confused about like timing, because my months are not like a clear cut. It's by color. So I see like August is like orange, and then like it goes into like September's like yellow, and then like a deeper orange for November, then red for December. Like
Wait, what?
each
That
season
is
has
so
its own color. Like right now, April is purple.
What?
And then when it
That's
gets into the
weird for
summer,
me.
it's
Hey,
like
quick
red
question.
for
Do you
June.
also see dead people?
We'll get to that. But yeah, so it's like a giant oval, and then it's not even like a color, it's like a light. So it's like an aura. So like when I'm in like when I'm in June,
Okay.
it's like a
Going
red
on?
light.
So,
and so
that's
here's
the follow-up question, is what color are the months, John?
Oh,
What color is this month?
Oh,
this month specifically, I would.
Yeah,
I would agree.
we're
with
in
purple.
April.
purple, right?
Really?
Yeah, like
I see-
rain or something.
April in my
April
head is like
showers.
yellow.
I think of Easter.
That yellow orange.
Yeah.
yeah, I seen it yellow orangey.
May
Really?
May is that
Pink.
pinkish.
Pink.
Whoa. What color is June?
I feel like June's more purple for
It's
me.
blue.
Oh.
Blue. July is lighter blue. August is yellow. September is orange, and then it goes
No.
That's
like
September's
September
yellow
orange,
for me.
October
September's
red,
yellow.
November like darker red, and then December is
March is green.
kind of like purpley.
Wait, December's purple, not
Yeah.
red?
You guys.
Because then it circles back around because like January is kind of purpley too.
Dude,
Okay,
even
you know
parts
why
of December
you
look
think of
different.
December as purple?
Yeah.
Because of Christmas in the church. It's always purple.
Oh.
It's always
Kind
directions.
of. No, but I think
Or
it
directions.
goes back to kindergarten.
Decorations.
I literally
Classroom.
think I'm like when I picture the calendar in my head, I'm like it's laid out in a line
Yeah,
and
well,
it's color coded. Like
That's what's
why
the
is
weirdest
that?
part is mine, I think, was a circle in my classroom. Like, I think it was some sort of like oval
like a
because,
color gradient
and it was like
almost?
color. Yeah, it literally in my mind is a color gradient.
How do you people remember that?
Isn't that
I
so
don't.
bizarre?
Very
So you guys are like normal human beings.
Yeah.
Did you not go to
Okay.
a private Christian elementary school?
No, it's so
but you
weird.
did. But
I did,
the
but I just don't remember.
But the
The
months
public.
in the calendar do have colors to you.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
still kind of see that.
It wouldn't. It's not a theory that like throws me off. Like
Yeah.
like when I think of it, I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, I like when I could think of a month and be like, okay, this month, this color is probably this. You know.
But isn't
That
that
doesn't seem
weird?
weird,
Like it's
but
just
yeah.
like we made that realization. It was just kind of bizarre. I was like,
So everything in kindergarten really made an impression. On
I
me.
think so. I think kindergarten really just like locked in with me.
it's pretty good.
But it's weird. We had that conversation with my family, and everybody had a different like imagery in their mind of like
That
what
is
it
such
looks
an
like.
abstract question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
I asked my brother last week. We know we talked about the how much would you pay for your toe. And
Yes.
my brother listens to the podcast, and he
Shout out to him.
He like brought it up like randomly, like we were hanging out, and he was like, "How much would you pay for your little toe?" And I was like, "You watch the podcast." And
Hey.
guess how much he said?
$50.
$10.
He said it was similar to me. He said like I'm thinking of like the aspect of like what do I need to pay for right now? Like what's the big purchase in my life?
my
And that's the
gosh.
amount of money I would do. And so I think he said like he wants to get something one of the cars fixed or something, and he said like it was like maybe $15,000. And I was like, oh my god.
Then you don't have any
But he
extra.
did another thing where he asked his wife, my sister-in-law Amanda, and she was like talking about it. And he was like, she's like, well, I don't really know. And he's like, there's a guy here right now. He's gonna take your toe.
Like
for how
I've got
much?
the money
And, like,
in my
it,
hand.
It immediately like puts the whole situation into like I don't know. But yeah,
Oh
anyways.
man.
So funny.
Yeah, I almost feel like that's so fleeting though. Like then you pay it off and it's like, but now
Oh,
I
it's-
don't
it's
have one of my
insane.
toes.
It's 100% insane.
Yeah.
But that's how my brain
Yeah.
works. It's like so task oriented where I'm like, okay, like what's
to
the
go.
biggest thing I want to buy right now? Or
Right.
what's the biggest amount of money that I need? And that's how much it would be.
Have you guys taken those like personality quizzes before?
Too many.
Which ones?
Have you done the
specifically?
Enneagram?
Yes.
You don't like the Enneagram?
I don't
Ryan?
like the Enneagram.
I've been profiled. I haven't taken it.
Same.
Oh, really?
I've
What
been
did they?
profiled as a 7.
I'm a 7.
Is
I see that.
Right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what a 7 means.
I
But
think you could also be a 9.
Really?
I'm a 9.
Kara's a 9.
9 is
and
like
you
a
guys are kind of
peacemaker.
similar. I'm told I'm a 3.
we should take the quiz.
performer.
We should.
Okay, next time before the show, we'll take the quiz.
Well, that's like
and
I
we'll
never
talk about
I never took
our
it.
answers.
What we are.
Uh-huh.
But Grace knows a lot about it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she has a book. So when she was in town at one point, and
Classic
it
Grace.
was literally just sitting at the table, and she'd ask me a bunch of questions, and then at the end she was like, "All right, you're a 9."
Because that's what I liked better. I took the quiz and I got something that I couldn't relate to. But then when I looked at the book and like asked Grace about like different numbers, reading on a rainbow.
Sorry. Anyways, it's so random. I'm sorry.
But I.
Oh, wait.
Oh, no, yeah, go ahead.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good play it.
Wait, what is it? Butterfly in the sky. I could go twice as high.
Yes.
Take a look. It's in a book.
Wow, that was beautiful.
You know, at the beginning of this episode, you said, I feel like this is going to be a weird one. I'm starting to think you're right.
I don't know. Something about the drive out here to Santee, like I just get hype, like this weird
good.
feeling. And I will tell you,
Go ahead.
I intentionally did not meal prep tonight, so we're getting fast food, baby.
Did I tell you I started meal prepping?
Okay, you can.
Listen, no, I'm serious. I really did. I got this app.
Cool. You and everybody else.
You download the app, helps you kind of plan it out, right?
Is it Fitnessgram?
I don't know.
My Fitness Pal?
Maybe, but
Noom.
you
I love that. I
plan
don't
it
know.
out, and then
Ugh,
like as
Noom.
soon as lunch comes, you go right to the kitchen, turn around, and your food's at
And
the door
walk
because
out.
it's Uber Eats.
Okay,
Stop.
you got the
Stop.
app.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's
I'm
pretty
not
funny.
meal prepping, but
Well,
Well, let me tell you, I've
Go
been
ahead.
thinking about getting that Enneagram book.
yeah,
that
it's
Grace
pretty
has.
cool.
let's go and
So-
buy it and charge the show.
You know what? I
Oh
think
my
it's
gosh.
With
You know what
our
I think it's-
residuals from Pod Decks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
we have $1.
I'm sorry, I'm like burping on the mic, like
Ew,
really unprofessional.
gosh.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Kara.
Wow.
I think it's different
So that's
from the other like personality tests.
I've taken a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every time I join, like in some of the internships I've had done over the years, like they're always like, take this test, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then they say send me the results. Like I took a strengths and weaknesses test.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't even want to know what my
Yeah.
weaknesses are.
Yeah.
I start
That's true.
hyper focusing on them.
Yeah.
See, I don't like any of these. I don't like the Enneagram. I don't like personality tests.
You don't
and
like to be
that's
pinned down.
and that's why, because I don't want to be pinned. Pinned
Because
to
you're a
something.
wing 4.
Because then people go,
Because-
oh, that's typical.
Because
7.
that's always what happens.
Typical
Is
wing
people
four.
go, ugh, just like
The
just 8
individualist.
things, blah. Like
What's the one when it's like, oh, your like your love
confrontational.
language is gifts,
Oh,
your love
what's your
language
love
is
language?
touch, like that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
Because I took that one
Mine's
time
quality
and I don't
time.
remember.
I think
Quality
it is.
time. Oh.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know?
What
it's
are
like
they?
I mean,
words,
you're-
words of affirmation, touch,
Acts of service.
gifts, acts of service, and there's one more.
I
And I
think
can't
it's
remember.
Quality time.
Quality time. No, I think that
Words.
is
Wait,
actually.
did you already
Quality
you already
time
said
is
No,
what
words.
you didn't say quality time.
Quality
Words
time.
of
That is,
affirmation,
yeah.
Quality time.
touch,
Gifts.
Touch,
gifts,
gifts, service.
Yeah.
There you
acts
go.
of service.
on.
I hate saying that it's probably words of affirmation, but I don't
We're
know.
a good
Like
pair.
when I'm
I always pump you up.
when I'm confronted with like stuff like that, I'm like, no, like that's not me. Like,
Yeah.
same thing. Like what's your love language? I'm like, I don't know. I just love people, man. Like,
See, I thought it was going to be words of affirmation because I do like when people are like, hey, what you're doing is super awesome, you know?
yeah.
But
But I also don't know how to take
super
it.
fleeting.
Too. I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
oh, thank you
I
so
feel
much.
like it's not something that I
Doesn't
like
stick.
think about very often. But
Yeah.
quality time.
Yeah, I'd probably say
and-
quality time.
I mean
too.
physical touch. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey,
It's like
what's
the
up,
most, like,
girl?
you know, whatever.
Right. Totally.
But my mom's is acts of service, and like seeing, like knowing that. I mean, I kind of knew it. Like I know her personality, but like having her take the quiz and that coming out as the number one, it helped me kind of understand like my mom better. You
Yeah.
know, like because I was like. I interpreted like doing things for her as like I'm just like she just wants me to do all these things, and I'm like, no, it's like that's how she interprets like being loved, you know. So it kind of changes that a little bit. So I think in that way it's kind of nice because when you know your loved one's love language, you're like, it's not just like, oh, they just want me to do all these things for them,
right?
Specifically with acts of service, but it's like, no, this is how they feel loved,
Yes, and show love.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's helpful.
I think mine's quality time too. I don't know, because I don't really care about gifts. Yeah, maybe I should. I don't really care about gifts. I don't really care about words of affirmation. Like I do, but it's not like the most important thing to me. I think quality time.
I think I flip.
You do?
No,
because I love
you show love by giving gifts.
I love. Well, that's acts of service, right?
Show love.
Because
like you love giving people stuff.
Gifts.
Oh yeah, I do.
This is like your projected love language, not like how you feel love.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like how you show love, and then how you like to receive
I definitely.
love.
I definitely.
Okay.
I
That's
agree
your
with that.
giving
I
gifts.
love
Is your
giving
showing
gifts
love
too.
Yeah.
But then I don't for me it switches.
I think it's a tie because I mean I obviously love giving gifts, but like I think I'm words of affirmation too because I think I always think it's really important to like tell somebody when you like something that they're doing because like it's kind of like one of those things where I'm like I would want that, I feel like especially when you're doing creative stuff like podcasts or media or YouTube whatever, you're always like kind of in limbo when you put something out and you don't get immediate feedback. You're like I don't really know like how people like this. Yeah. So I always thought like when I like when you put out your videos, I always like text you and I was like, this is funny because like I want you to know like people think it's funny. You know?
Sure.
Right.
And so I don't know, maybe it's hybrid of both.
I agreed with what you said about like letting other people do that too. Because like I mean we know the pinnings and the pinnings have always been really generous.
Yeah.
And I struggle with being like, oh no, like this is too much. Like no, I can't accept this. And I've realized like Kat specifically is like I just want to hook you up like and give you this thing or like do this for you.
Show you love.
And you have to like go, okay, like yeah, she's doing that because like that's how she's showing love.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean the candle's a perfect example of that.
So on brand.
So we're gonna welcome in Kat to the studio right now.
We need to have her on for
Well, this is like a fan podcast of Kat because we talk about her pretty often.
Yeah. Well, she's pretty.
And Michael
worthy
too.
of it.
Michael is like a baller too.
And we know they watch. So if
That's
you're
true.
watching and you want to make
You
sure
were
no,
specifically
below.
Michael or
Yeah.
Kat. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's true.
anyways, you want to talk about? I mean, it's not a
What are we
great
talking
transition.
about? Yeah, go ahead.
But-
Speaking of
This
thing,
Is it because I'm not doing
Kara,
it?
yeah, you're the
Yeah,
transition
come
girl.
on.
Speaking of deep
I
fakes,
want to go into
Like,
that.
knowing
okay,
people-
ready? Speaking of thinking you know who someone is,
Oh.
I think you mean
let's
deep
talk
fakes.
about deep fakes, baby. Let's talk
Oh, God.
about deep
This is shocking.
fakes. Yeah.
I think there's probably it's a good idea to talk about just kind of what deepfakes are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how they maybe a little bit how they work, and then just because like if you're listening to this, you might not know. I don't. I'll confess I don't know a whole lot. Like
So I'm going to tell you what a deep fake is.
Go ahead.
A deep fake is actually a computer algorithm. And what you do with it is you input. So let's say I want to do a deep fake of Jim Carrey.
Okay.
So I'm going to put
Huge fan, by the way.
huge fan. Great work. Love everything he's done. Mr. Popper's Penguins, just fantastic.
Just awesome work, man.
So I'm going to take every movie that Jim Carrey's ever been in,
Yeah.
these digital files, right? And I'm going to put them in my algorithm.
Okay.
And then the algorithm goes to work scanning every angle of Jim Carrey's face in every single movie. So by the end of it, you have a picture of every frame, right, of Jim Carrey, like, so that you have this kind of 360 profile of his face, what different expressions look like, what, you know, when he's smiling like half smile, when he's like, all of these different snapshots,
weird.
boom, boom,
No,
boom, boom,
I
boom,
know,
boom, boom,
it's so
go into the program.
complex.
It's
Like
so complex.
scanning their face.
It's scanning your face, but just based on the material they have from these movies or, you know,
TV
other
shows.
videos, whatever you have. And then what you do after that is you do another scan. So let's say I want to implant Jim Carrey into this movie. I don't know what the movie is.
Sorry, I'm prepping.
You're gonna show us a
next
deep fake?
Yeah. I was gonna
So
show
let's
you.
say we want to see Jim Carrey be in this new Star Wars movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm pulling stuff out here.
well.
So then we put the new Star Wars movie into the deep fake.
Okay.
It scans, you know, the face of Luke Skywalker. Boom, 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 boom. Every scan, and then it imprints the picture that most looks like Jim Carrey into that. So like if it's a picture of Luke Skywalker going like this, it goes through all the Jim Carrey faces and it goes, oh, we have one of those. And then it puts it in that frame of the movie.
Okay.
So by the end of it, you have, this is the outcome where we're going to watch a control shift face video, I'm sure.
So this one is Rami Malek in The Fly. So it's
hold on.
Rami Malek, who
So
is
they've
in
scanned Rami Malek, who is the
Mr.
guy that
Robot.
played Mr. Robot. He's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody.
work.
They've put him through the
Onto-
ringer. They've scanned everything he's ever been in. And they're imprinting him on Jeff Goldblum's face in The Fly. And this video is kind of stylistic, so it'll like go back and forth.
Okay,
You'll
I'm
see.
just making sure this works is all,
Yeah.
because I was a little concerned.
That's
about
why
it not
I was
working.
vamping for you. So
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Oh wow!
so
it's
this
working.
is Jeff Goldblum. Let's watch the
Did
video.
we adjust the volume? Whoa. Okay.
The volume's not the important part.
Oh, okay.
So this is the deep fake
Are
on
you
the
seeing this? Are
right.
they seeing this?
I'm gonna need you to. It's on Apple TV right now.
Oh no.
Oh, I knew.
Whoa.
So while we're fixing that, why
Uh-huh.
didn't so when they CGI'd Carrie Fisher?
Yes.
Why didn't they just deep fake it?
So it's kind of this like controversial thing where Hollywood doesn't really use deep fakes. Like
They should.
And I
because
think,
it's
I think we can get into the
the logistics of it
like
and the implications.
implications of it, because I think we enter kind of a dangerous territory with deepfakes because they look so realistic, and it's just the beginning. Like they just started making deepfakes, so it's like
Yep.
I think by the time we always talk about like the future generations, by the time we have kids, like deepfakes are going to be so realistic that I think honestly kids aren't going to know what's real and what's fake. Like,
So that's the long-term implications. But
Right.
regarding what Kara's saying, like it's kind of the whole like you're selling your likeness,
Right.
Right. So if it's like, oh, we just want a young Ben Stiller to be in this new movie, we can just go through all of Ben Stiller's work,
and
scan
not pay
it,
them necessarily. Like,
and not necessarily pay them. So then it's like, okay, well, are actors getting paid the same to just be deep faked into a movie?
it's like something they've already done
Oh.
and they've already been paid for.
Then what if you just get like
Compensated
the
for it?
residuals?
Then what if,
Right?
okay, well, what about this? What if you deep faked, every Avenger in the Avengers movies, right?
Yeah.
They've got so much, and it's not even things we've seen, all the test footage, all of the everything that Marvel has, right? They put all of their characters through the deep fakes, and then they can pump out another Avengers movie, next
Without
year
doing
without having to shoot anything. It's just like, it's like really good CGI at that point.
Right.
And like, okay, we'll just
Yeah,
pay,
but then it ends up just not being acting.
Can you go to the Apple?
That's the thing.
The entertainment room. Is it showing up?
Entertainment room.
Okay, cool. I'm having a little bit of Wi-Fi.
Is it working,
Is
Kara?
it working now?
Let me see. Let me see. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, he's trying.
The Wi-Fi is
Okay.
a little.
So this is Rami Malek,
There's a couple of videos I'll
Imprinted
show
into-
that are really spooky.
Great.
Jeff Goldblum.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
So you can see this
Ew.
is like that on the left is real. And they've put his
Rami
face kind of
Malek.
like a mask on top of it.
Whoa.
And it
So
helps
you're
because they already
saying-
look alike.
So this is the fake one.
Yeah, that's what makes it better is his facial structure is similar to Rami Malek. So Jeff Goldblum and him already look like
So the idea, like let's take the reality situation of like, who is Princess Leia that passed away? What's her name?
Carol Shay.
Carrie
Yes,
Fisher.
Carrie Fisher.
Like she passed away, couldn't
Uh-huh.
finish the film, right? And aside from the politics and logistics of like, should they be paid or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like the question is, like, where was I going with this?
Should we put them in the movie if they've passed away?
Yeah. I mean, or the question is it like because the technology exists, why not use it? You know?
Because of the implications.
I don't
Now
get it.
this was the controversial one that I love this. This video is great. Watch this.
This is Millie Bobby Brown
on
as
young
Princess
Carrie
Leia.
Fisher.
who plays 11 in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And they also already look like each
Oh.
other.
Oh, there she
Uh-huh.
is. So you're saying Millie Bobby Brown could have played?
Look
at-
at it.
Whoa.
It's weird because you don't expect them to look so similar, but then when they're side by side, it's like, wow. And the other thing we're talking about too is that Millie Bobby Brown could try and act like Carrie Fisher in the movie, but with a deep fake, she's doing every exact facial expression.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
Yeah.
like programming.
So
So,
close.
you could get a really great actor to, play the scene or whatever. Or like exactly. It's like this. Like she's doing Carrie Fisher so well because she is Carrie Fisher.
When I
Yeah.
saw them
technically.
doing the reconstruction for, there was some like famous, it was in the Star Wars series. There was like some captain guy who
Yes.
passed away.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
in Rogue One, they had an old character, Grand Moff Tarkin, who was in the original Star Wars movie. He'd long since passed. He's like, 30, 20 years since he's passed or something like that. He's a really old guy, but they CGI'd him in. So it wasn't a deep fake.
And it was a big deal. Like
Yeah.
I watched a little video on how they reconstructed it. They did something similar. They had a guy who like had a very similar facial structure, and they even like this guy, whoever they ended up using, had to like go through all this intensive like training to kind of talk or have similar facial expressions, and then they also did CGI on top of
to make him look more like the guy.
and it turned out great.
And that's like kind of the same idea, but instead of taking an actual picture of this guy, you are like painting it basically with computers.
And I think it's going to get to a certain point where Hollywood will have like a release form where you get paid a ton of money, the same money you would be getting paid to do the movie.
Yep.
Except you sign this release form. Yes, for this film you can use my
That's what I was gonna
face,
say.
because then at least like I don't think the intent of movies right now necessarily, I think it could get to this point, but I don't think right now they're doing it to save on like cost. I think they're doing it because they want it to look like the same people, like in Star Wars.
It's
but
legacy,
I think
They're doing it now, but I'll tell you what, the next time they want to make an Avengers movie,
Yeah,
they're going to
that's
go,
what I
okay,
mean.
are we really going to pay Robert Downey Jr. $300 million?
To not act.
But I don't
or
know if-
are we going to run the algorithm and
That's a big
get,
statement.
he doesn't have to show up.
But I don't know if Robert Downey Jr. is like, oh yeah, it's worth it to me to not get paid as much, but I don't have to go and film. I don't know.
Ridiculous. No
it's like
way.
their own
Because
work.
it's almost like a pride
heck they
thing
can't.
too.
No way, dude.
It's
Are you
like-
kidding me? If I'm,
So you're selling
somebody,
rights to your
if I'm
face.
Nicolas Cage, right, and I'm on the outs of my career, and they go, hey, Nicolas Cage,
National treasure.
like, can we scan everything you've ever been in and put you in a movie? And he's like, okay, I don't have to show up, and I get paid
Yeah.
$1 million.
Yeah, that's true.
Done.
It is kind of true because then you can do more projects. Like if you're like the time I would have spent filming another Avengers movie,
But then it's not you. So like, are you doing those
but it
projects?
is you. You've already done it. Like it's still your
That's
facial
what's crazy.
expressions.
No, it's not you. I mean, you're not.
It's somebody
you're
else,
talking
but it
about
just
the
looks
new
like you.
movie. If they're using your content, but
Right.
they're
And the guy
writing-
that's
I mean, you
acting,
approve it.
and
You
then so-
approve the script
then
and everything.
So
I
then
don't
you
think
watch
that's
the
good.
movie, and the guy they got to like be you, your body, is a terrible actor.
It's you acting though.
But it's not.
It's your
a
face.
picture of you
No, the
on
actor
a dummy.
dictates. I mean,
Yeah,
his facial expression.
it's like you just said,
dictates that.
like 11 being Carrie Fisher isn't really even her.
So I guess it's different because it's not like Nicolas Cage and somebody else being dubbed over Nicolas Cage.
It's somebody-
Nicolas Cage being dubbed over somebody who's just an actor.
Who's trying
Just
to
a
be
regular
him.
old
Right.
actor.
Yeah, so I guess that's
So
different.
all those calls, like all those minuscule calls of like, like again, all these actors in big time movies are being directed, but
Yeah.
like all those
But, like,
calls
that's
of like
their stuff.
my facial expression, my demeanor, my body language, all that.
That's, like,
no
their
longer
business.
becomes
Yeah.
like their choice. They can their face now gets plastered on somebody
Yeah.
else. I think it takes the whole magic out of it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Now I do think it's good for if somebody passes on.
Yeah.
like,
And they
let's
need to
just
finish
say-
a project.
I hope this never happens, and if it does in the next couple of weeks,
You're going to jinx it.
it's
I just
gonna
want to
be
say
me.
before you do it, just is it worth it? Whether or not you're going to say this person's
It's not
name.
worth it. I'll change it. So let's just say.
Let's say they were shooting a Prince Philip movie. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
yeah.
May he rest in
really,
peace.
Let's say Prince Philip was in a major series, right?
okay.
And now he's passed away.
Yes.
And like.
They had like 2 days of shooting left.
Which
Well,
like
or
bad planning on their part. He was
or
like
they
90
wanted him,
something.
They wanted him to like be a part and like come back
In the crowd.
for like a little section,
little
right?
cameo.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think the technology exists. Why not? I think, and it also, I mean, there's no other way. I think the reality is movies should be made exactly how they're being made
Yeah.
now. Like actors should show up, they should be give their performance, and then if there's an incident where they need to
reshoot.
they need to reshoot.
I
think
think
or
the
whatever.
implications.
Everybody has
outweigh
a
the-
price for one.
Yeah.
The technology is going to get better for two.
Yeah.
And also, like, it will replace eventually impersonators of like in The Crown they had the actress who played Diana, and she was so good. She looked exactly like her, sounded exactly like her. But if you could literally have Diana and have somebody sign off like we're gonna have her look exactly like
She
her,
never-
I think they would do it.
I'll tell you though, the Queen would never have signed off her.
Maybe not
likeness.
the Queen, but you know what I mean. Like
But
if it
somebody
was
like that
a
high
movie
profile.
about somebody who was like passed on, and the
Yeah.
family's like, yeah, like if it's gonna honor my family member, I want them to look exactly like my family
Will
member.
you
Then
pull
yes.
up the Obama Jordan Peele one?
Oh, I
Here's
haven't
the
seen
thing.
that one.
I think.
Oh wait, yes, I have.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think there's no. I don't envision. This is my personal opinion. I don't envision a world in where actors just stop showing up to things and get millions for using their face. You're basically selling the digital rights to your face, which is like
Right.
ridiculous.
Would you do it?
No, heck no.
Also, wouldn't they have to pay
For
that
$1 million
body
bucks,
double?
they'll put you in a movie and you don't have to do anything.
If I was making more millions by actually being there,
You'd actually want to be there.
I would want to be there. I
But
don't
like she
care.
said, maybe we want to release this movie next week, and we can beeline it.
I think
do
some.
it.
I think some of these actors. I think not some. A lot of these actors, they enjoy their craft. They don't. They wouldn't be in this. Sure, a lot of it's about money.
Yeah.
But I'm saying a lot of these actors, like you talk about Nicolas Cage or Robert
Yeah.
De Niro or all these big time long like Betty White. I mean, that's kind of a rough one, but I'm saying like Betty White's been in the industry for so long. They love what they do. They don't need any more money.
Yeah.
They could retire tomorrow.
Yeah,
they
that's
love
true.
what they do.
Not Nicolas Cage.
I think everybody has a
That
price.
dude's got castles.
I think
He
as
needs the
far as
money.
Hollywood goes, like they're always ready to sell out. Like
That now the
wouldn't be
controversial one was Rebel Without a Cause guy. James Dean.
James Dean.
yeah, James.
They put
Dean.
James Dean in this new movie, and that was like the whole
Is
weird
it
thing.
Mank? Was it in Mank?
No. It was like it was like a couple of years ago.
And it was a
Oh.
deep fake?
but it was like a deep fake of James Dean, and that was like kind of it was really weird and confusing because they were like putting it on the headlines and guest starring, like not guest starring, but like and starring
Featuring
James Dean.
And you're
Interesting.
like,
And it was
he's
like
been dead, so.
that dude's like, and he played a role in the movie, and it was a deep
Yeah.
fake, but it was not him.
Well,
you know what's? Sorry, go ahead.
Didn't they have that the Michael Jackson show where he was like came as like a hologram? Was that
Oh
him?
yeah, what was that
Oh,
for?
Right? Didn't
You're
they
talking
make
about
performance?
Castaneda?
Last tour.
Wasn't it on?
Oh no, you're talking
was
about
it?
Tupac.
No, we're talking about Michael Jackson.
Was Michael Jackson in the
I am
Vegas show?
I think I am talking about
wait.
Tupac.
Well, that's the hologram performance
okay.
concert situation, which is, I mean, kind of the same thing. But like, would you go and see a hologram of an artist?
Here's what I think. I think this technology has the potential to kind of ruin the system we have, where it's like actors, they're huge for a lifetime. They do a lifetime of movies. They die, and
Yep.
then the next generation comes. I think the danger is when you have this technology, it's like even when Nicolas Cage, I keep going back to him.
Yeah.
Even when Nicolas Cage is gone, he'll still star in movies, and there never will be like the next Nicolas Cage, because like there's never that, like if they keep reusing the same people that they. One thing we know about Hollywood is they just use what works. They're not imaginative in that
Yeah.
sense. Like all the plot lines are the same. There's no new stuff.
But it makes you really question, like, why would you pay $1 million for somebody's face? Like, if it's all relative, like nobody's actually doing the acting, like, why are you paying $1 million for Nicolas Cage's face? Because we know that he's an actor, we recognize him,
And we like him.
and yeah.
That's the same reason why
It's-
you
but it's
hire
not him.
somebody like Jennifer Lawrence and give her millions of dollars to be in a.
But she's actually doing the acting.
Yeah, but it's her. Like that's why they're paying. Where it's like these names where Brad Pitt's in,
But
Once
why
Upon a
is it-
Time in Hollywood.
But why is it her?
It gets
Because of the
people to-
acting. Why?
Yeah.
Why did Tom Cruise get to where he is? Because he acted in those movies.
Yeah,
if
I
he
mean,
hadn't
I don't
acted in
think
the movies,
everything.
well,
because he did his own stunts.
I don't think
best.
everything in the industry is going to be deep fakes. Like obviously that
I don't
will
know.
eventually get old.
this video really starts to make you think about all of the possibilities with deepfakes.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, do we
preempt-
want to watch this with volume? Okay.
We need it with sound, yeah.
All right. All right.
All
Did
we
you
need-
want that with volume or,
Did you say with
or
volume?
you said with volume? Okay.
anything at any point in time. Former president.
Oh, this is the news
Right?
clip.
So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right.
Oh my gosh.
See, I would never say these things, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele.
Comedian Jordan Peele actually
Oh
produced
my
this video
gosh.
to warn about the future of fake news. The technology
So
uses
scary.
sophisticated artificial intelligence tools
And they may
able to turn
block us
familiar
out 'cause it's,
faces, even
see,
presidents,
look.
into puppets.
Now there is software that can be purchased
Yeah.
and done at home, and
That
within
is
a few
crazy.
days you can manufacture what someone says.
Yeah.
That
in a
is,
video.
You
well,
guys-
that's the other piece of it. Like aside from
Yeah.
Hollywood, the piece of like now, I mean, I guess it's kind of still Hollywood. Like famous, it only affects famous people. Like if
Yeah.
there was a deep fake of one of us, it came out and everyone's like, okay, but like anybody couldn't kind of impose that on themselves. They can impose that on
Wow.
themselves and they can say crazy things. Now,
Well,
I
and
feel
it's like
I
she
watched
said
that-
too, like how long until the technology's really, really good, where it's indistinguishable?
Yeah.
And then a foreign power gets that, and they send out this mass
Yep.
video, and it's, President Joe Biden. He's going, today we're going to blow up China. Here we go.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's suddenly
Terrifying.
everywhere.
And that
it's like,
causes like a rift. Like China
is that a
thinks
deep
it's
fake?
real,
And then
yeah.
China launches an attack on us. Like,
Oof.
of course.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it?
Yeah.
If it's indistinguishable. Oh, I love this. This
This
video's
one's
great.
really good.
Over visited me. I know your
Yes.
kids. Is this being passed
is
on?
Conan
to-
O'Brien.
Yes.
Children.
Our 2-year-old right
And Bill
now.
Hader.
I'll
Bill
say,
Hader.
how old are you? And she goes, I'm 4.5, which is her older sister's 4.5. And I go, no, you're not. You're not 4.5. And then she grabs my face and goes, 4.5.
Whoa.
The image
That was
of
also
Arnold
kind of a
Schwarzenegger.
a little bit.
Yeah. I'm 4.5, father. You got to get out of here. Get out of this. There's a bomb in there. Get out.
So good.
You got to go.
And then it goes back to Bill
Boulevard
Hader.
now.
Good impressionist.
He's
I love
He's a
Schwarzenegger as
genius.
a baby.
We watched
so
him.
much fun.
I want to watch Doc McStuffin.
So funny.
That's
My
great.
yogurt.
He does like a.
my hero.
Wait, doesn't he do Tom Cruise in this video too?
That's not the
I'm
same
just
one.
curious, where-
It's a
Different video.
different video.
Bill Hader's a great impression, but that, like you said, you can if you have the impression down, you can kind of be whoever you want
Yep.
to be in video.
Well, and that's what's even crazier is they now have algorithms that you can run all of the. It's the same idea, but with audio. All of the
Shut
audio
up.
you've ever said gets
They
loaded up,
splice it together?
and then
Sounds
you
like
can
it.
make somebody say different things.
Wait, this one's good
No.
too.
It's really, it's
Way.
kind
Funny,
of, it's way shakier nowadays than the images.
Yeah.
but it's on its
gonna
way.
be there,
It's
yeah.
on its
That's
way.
like when everyone was making freaking
Donald Trump say different things.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, you're a rock star. Get your game on.
yeah.
Go, and they would take all like Shrek's voice.
Hey now,
Hey,
you're a rock star.
Kind of.
Wait, watch,
Yeah,
watch.
kind of.
And good for you. That's
Oh,
just
thanks,
great.
buddy. Thanks.
And I was wondering about the Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder,
Where
yeah.
Tom Cruise. You're working with Tom Cruise. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. Like we
Oh,
got to
I can
dance
see his
together.
face shifting.
That was amazing.
And
We
you don't
had,
think they look like each
when
other
you do a
now.
movie, you do
Like-
table reads, where like all the actors get together.
Well, at the
and
beginning
This
of
is
the
still Bill
beginning,
Hader.
Before anything, you get together and you read through the script. And so it's like, all these heavyweights, like, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., everybody. And at the end is like me, like, like, hey, happy to be here, guys. And some other supporting guys. And then Tom Cruise walks in. And even
now
those
his
guys
face
are
is
like,
Tom
"Whoa," and
Cruise.
he's
Oh my
super stoked
gosh.
to be
And then it
there.
switches back.
He's like, yeah, oh, boom. He's like,
It's so hard to distinguish when it switches.
just immediately excited when he walks into a room. And so he comes over and he sits next to me. And I think he had been briefed on some of the supporting guys, but he was like trying to place me, So he sat down next to me and he's like,
Ugh.
I love your work. And I went, oh, thanks. I love your work too, Tom Cruise.
It's so cool.
So
That
crazy.
is crazy.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean,
So where do we
it's-
go from here? I mean, what do you do with that?
I think it's kind of scary. At the same time, it's kind of cool. Like I'm intrigued by it in the sense that like
I'm with you on the if somebody passes away suddenly and we can
Yeah.
finish this last project, but it's got to be like a one last ride kind of technology,
I think there's gonna be laws in place, like
or at least like union like SAG stuff.
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
can't be, is that the union they're in?
yeah,
SAG,
SAG.
Yeah.
acting credits,
SAG.
whatever.
I mean, I think like if you ask me about the technology and the capabilities, how many like things it opens up, it opens itself up to, it's really cool.
Sure.
When you think about like if you want to see if it allows people to make great movies about about fallen stars, like to me that sounds great. And the question is like where the financial stuff and the restrictions, all that will kind of come out just like in due time. Like everything started somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Like before unions, like actors worked for like probably no money, you know, and then that kind of evolved and it kind of worked itself out.
I think this technology could be like as big as the internet. Not like in the way that we use it, but like world changing. I think
It's really cool. I mean, you think about who's your favorite musical artist?
the Beatles.
Like imagine them being able to make like a really high quality movie about the Beatles from like the moment they became famous to like their breakup. Like high quality.
But what makes a Beatle a Beatle? You know, like is that it's so much cooler to see Hard Day's Night, which is actually the dudes, you know, hanging out.
But what if it's not indistinguishable? Like you can see
it is indistinguishable.
It is yeah, thank you.
It is indistinguishable.
It looks exactly like them, sounds exactly like them. They make a cool new music video, you know, like because right now we're filming in 4K or whatever. What's the
8K,
highest 8K,
16K
with
like
red
ridiculous
cameras, like really high quality stuff. And so in the future, you could have a full Harry Styles like music video and have it not even be Harry Styles, but it looks and sounds like Harry Styles.
I just like where does authenticity go? Like,
but
is
does
that
it
even
matter?
Harry Styles? Well, that's
whoa.
Right.
I feel like with
it's
that, I'd want to see
the ship, right?
an actor or an artist who's like them.
Again, I'll go back to the thing. Like these people do what they love. You know, Harry Styles, dare I say Taylor Swift. Like they don't have to do.
Whoa.
They don't have to do music anymore. You know, like Taylor Swift could retire, never release a single. And again, this is a different industry, but I'm saying like these artists that do their craft for this long, like all these legendary actors, like even Robert Downey Jr. Like. He doesn't have to work anymore. He does it because he loves it.
It's their lives.
You know? And like, so that's where I'm saying, like, if it becomes like for $1 million, you can just be in a movie and never work on the set. Like, I just can't imagine a guy like Robert Downey Jr. or Robert De Niro or, you know, all these crazy legendary actors going, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. No, they want to be there. They want to give that. Like, that's part of the excitement. It's part of the thrill. Like Remy being in the Queen movie, you know? Like
Rami.
Yeah.
Rami, sorry. You know, like, they could have totally used a deep fake, but he loves it.
That was Bohemian Rhapsody. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm retiring now.
But I think also, too, like...
You know what also
would be
makes
nice-
acting fun
Okay.
is $300 million.
Okay, Ryan.
Maybe. I mean, well, yes.
Sorry, say
for
your
sure.
thing. Go ahead, say your thing.
No, it's fine. You said exactly what I was about to say, but thank you.
Wait, I tried to put my mouth on the microphone. Dang it.
You need to eat the microphone.
Wow.
Go ahead, say your thing.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. People like to make money. So it's like you could still do projects, but you could also make $1 million like on the side, you know?
I guess time will tell. When this technology becomes more readily available, like that's when it's going to shift.
It's
But
going to take over our lives.
I just don't.
I'm calling it now.
The big thing is I think legacy and also craft. You know, like legacy in the sense that like if we just keep reusing, you know, all these people and new movies and new content, there's no availability. There's no like growth for new people to come in and take the scene, you know, and that's what's going to suck. It's like, there's going to be no next Robert Downey Jr. Now, of course, there's never going to be
we'll just
someone
keep
like
using
him.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Like there's never going to be like
I'm
the
with you
next
on that.
person. And then also like craft. I think a lot of these people, a lot of these big actors, and I think up and coming actors and actresses, they love doing this.
Yeah.
Like they love it.
I think I agree with both of you. I think they shouldn't, but I think they will. You know what I mean?
Hollywood always usually does.
I think that's what I was saying, the authenticity of it. I think we should keep having new actors, but that being said, I don't think Robert Downey Jr. would pass on being in the next Avengers movie if he made half as much money, but not, well, maybe not him. He kind of seems like
Part of me thinks that
different.
big
but
actors like
he's also
that
the most paid
would
actor.
do it if it wasn't like some major motion picture and it was more of like a independent.
Well, there's a side of that where
I
it's
almost know
like,
if yeah.
well, like these
think it's the
indie
opposite.
films.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
You know,
Really?
these what about like these indie films? You know, like they can't afford to have
Yeah.
RDJ come, but like maybe they can afford to use his space. Like, are we okay with that?
I don't know if they could afford it. it's like so expensive. I mean, maybe in the future, like if it becomes way more like iMovie on your phone.
Yeah. And can an actor make his digital face public domain? Like can our DJ go,
Copyright your
anybody
face
can
and you have
use my face,
pay
here you
for the
go.
rights.
But I
For a
think
certain
the
amount of
things
money.
that they do, the projects they do, the things they act in are kind of like they want to keep it on brand for them too.
Yeah, totally. Because then it
Yeah.
represents them like.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
'Cause
I'm
you-
just saying,
it's
could
not
you
just-
imagine like somebody being like, F the industry, use my
Right.
face for whatever you want.
Right.
Like
I mean, I'd be
think,
into it.
I mean, soon
but-
I think there's going to be apps where you can just record your own face and then deep fake yourself onto
and
movies.
you won't have anything to say.
or-
Like they can't stop you from doing that because it'll be. It's like
Crazy.
the internet.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know?
there's already been people who've done that on TikTok. I've seen
Go ahead.
I've seen
TikTok, oof.
like girls put their faces into like just like a TV show that they've been watching. So like,
Sure.
say like me I chose Pretty Little Liars. Like
You
I
watched
would love to
Pretty
be
Little
in Pretty Little Liars.
Nice.
Why?
I've seen girls take like they choose there's an effect on
Snapchat.
TikTok.
On Snapchat.
It's on Snapchat?
Sure. Put the little face in there.
I think so. I don't know.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
But
Snapchat
it's
had
you
it.
Go ahead.
choose like a picture of yourself or 3 of them and it puts yourself into whatever video that
Can you
is.
imagine?
Does it look
They've already
realistic?
posted that. Yeah, it
No,
looks so
Someone
good.
used to have a filter
no,
like
thank
that.
you. Right? No, thank you.
I'd
I'm
like
good.
Ryan's face.
I don't need that.
Whenever I
Do you want to switch faces?
Whoa.
Whoa, like in that movie
Oh
Face
my
Off.
gosh, you guys should
What?
do that for
What is
this
that?
episode.
Face Off. It's where
Switch faces.
who's Danny Zuko?
You could just
What's his
switch
name?
spots and say that you did a deep fake.
John Travolta.
We switch spots and change clothes.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
wearing each other's clothes, and then
I'm
you're
sorry.
both sitting in.
Guys, we're having a conversation here. Do you mind?
Oh, what?
John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, they switch bodies or they switch faces. I don't know. I haven't seen
Never
the
seen
movie.
Nobody's
it.
seen
Okay,
Face Off.
let's talk about my new favorite app.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of apps, you were talking about apps.
Talking about
Speaking
technology.
of the new technology,
I don't know. I'm trying. To
You're
this
trying my transition.
this is an app called Meow Talk.
Shut up.
No joke. Meow Talk.
Our cats are very talkative.
Here, let me
Especially one.
let me open with a question, John.
Yeah, go
if you
ahead.
could understand what your cats were saying, would you do it?
This is something I actually think about. I have dogs, but similar concept.
If you could understand what the dogs were saying, would you want to?
I feel like dogs are a bit more clear.
Trick question, because you can.
Okay.
It's called Meow Talk. What this does.
Meow meow beans.
Meow Meow Beans.
It looks like Meow Meow Beans. Oh my gosh.
So you press this button and it starts listening, and then if your cat makes a noise, meows or whatever, it goes through.
Meow.
It's like the deep fake of cats.
Etc.
It like goes through the, compares it to other meows, and then it says like, "Oh, your cat is saying like,
So let
give me
get this
attention."
straight. Deep fakes make you uncomfortable, but this
Yeah,
helps you sleep at night.
yeah, it's cats.
He doesn't
Okay.
care about animals.
No, this is me. Okay, so you can make little profiles for your cats.
You already
and
have
then you
yours in
can
there, I can
log.
see.
Yeah, I've got Dennis and Dee in there, and you can log the things that they say to
So
you.
what did Dennis say today?
So Dennis has only ever said one thing to me
oh my gosh.
at 12:15 a.m., and it was "Give me attention." And you can tell what. So the best part is when you record them, you can play them back and be like, "Okay, this is what it sounds like when Dennis wants attention." Wait, oh gosh darn it! Did you hear it?
That sounds like I want to.
Let me play it again.
It does.
That
So
was
sweet.
Hey, give me attention.
So sweet.
Dee, on the other hand, has said a lot of things to me.
She's a
This is when she
Kathy.
was on the hunt. This is "I will catch my prey." Oh, gosh darn it. Can you hear it? It's kind of quiet.
Sounds like a question. I wouldn't think that one
Yeah,
was
I don't think
statement.
that was like I'm
That
gonna
was
kill somebody. That was like a,
Okay,
should I
this
kill
is
someone?
this is
I don't know.
"Let me rest."
That makes
Oh, that
sense.
was just a purr.
That was
Purr.
purring.
This is "I need to rest." Was I just getting a lot of purring?
How do
Yeah,
you
that
distinguish?
was
She makes
purring
it-
too.
She makes a chicken noise on one of them. Oh no, it's just purrs.
I mean, that is rest.
Let me
Okay.
rest.
The noise that I thought, this is the best part. No, the best part is the noise that I thought she was making when she was pissed off at me is actually like a loving sound. This is, "Aw, I'm in love." Wait, no, not that one. That's. Wait, was it? Are you playing that? Oh no!
You're
I
playing.
bumped
You're
it.
the one
I
playing
bumped
it.
it.
You have to do like the
I
tongue
love that
roll.
you thought she was playing another.
Well,
What was that?
I was hearing it before I put it up to the
cats.
microphone. I was like, did you?
Okay. We need an update on that. We're gonna need to keep those recordings coming every episode.
I just
'cause-
want. I want the thing from.
Wait, listen to
play
that
that
one.
Ew.
That's like a hey, what's up?
I want one of those inventions from Cloudy with the Chins of Meatballs that the monkey wears, where it's like a
Uh-huh.
headband and it just like translates as
It's like
he's
Doug.
Yeah.
like Doug.
Here's
Like
what I'll
name
say
is
about
Doug.
understanding pets.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I think if I given the opportunity, like if a magic genie showed up and they were like, I'll make your pets talk if you want, I would probably say no, and here's why.
Wow.
Because I think it's more fun to give your pets a personality and
that they don't
interpret
actually have.
for them, like interpret it for them, than it is to like actually know what they're saying. Because
The mystery. You like the mystery.
What if your cat's like a total a-hole? Like, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, I wish I wouldn't have known that. Like,
Or
I-
unappreciative, like they don't care.
But you know, though, right? Like, you like the mystery to be there.
Yeah, me too.
But you know.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
We know what my dog says because lately
Your dog is
She
also
speaks
the,
English.
the
So she-
most spoiled dog.
We're talking
ever.
about
definitely. She
Elsie,
goes on
the doodle.
Thanks,
so
Elsie.
my dad will come home, and at around like 4:45, 4:50 ish, they go on a walk and they meet their friends who live down the
gosh.
street, and we all
Other
walk
dogs.
together.
This is other dogs.
This is
Yep.
a reality TV show, but go ahead.
And then so this
Secret Life of
past
Pets.
this past couple of weeks, the minute my dad gets home from work at like 4:10 ish, he'll go upstairs and like change out of his uniform, all the stuff. He'll come back and like want to relax until the walk time. She will jump on the couch next to him and just sit there and bark at him and just be like, "Take me for a
Wow.
walk.
Whoa.
Take me
She's
for
kind
a
of
walk.
a brat.
It's time
I'm
for
gonna
my
be real.
walk."
She's a brat.
And my dad every time is like, well, "It's not time yet."
She's
You
a brat
know
because
it's
you
not
guys
time
spoil her
yet.
though. Like,
Yeah, honestly, you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
funny
everything I know
though.
about Elsie,
100%.
She has friends.
she has friends.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, let's back that
Play
up.
She
dates.
loves her friends.
Daily play
She
dates.
she meets up with her friends every day. Like I don't even do that. So
They're two labs.
gotta figure it
So
out.
cute.
She really
But yeah,
really
she's
cracked the
gotten
code.
into the habit of barking with her mouth just staying open, like, "Oh,
oh my gosh.
What do you think
Wait,
she's
sorry, what
saying
was
in
that?
that
Go ahead.
moment? Wait, can you
One more
cut
time
to your
on the
camera?
bar.
So
Are
I
you
run
on your
that
camera?
back real quick for
Go
the
ahead.
clip. For the clips.
she'll go, ah."
Okay, I love that.
That was
The
that
actual
was
worst
a lot
dog
to
ever.
take in.
Well, Ryan was there the other night when she was like,
Is she a loud barker? Is it like a really loud piercing bark?
it is when she
It is.
sees other dogs that she doesn't really
I
like.
know more about your dog than I
yeah.
think I know about my sister.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. No, but you do know a lot about
That was
her.
a really big statement.
I want
I was
a
here for it.
compilation.
Trying to give a.
I want a compilation of Cara's like dog sounds and like cut. I
Oh,
think
that will
on the
be
clips.
happening.
You
Thank
want to
you.
hear
Yeah,
mine?
yeah.
You want to hear mine?
Yeah, go for it.
Wow.
Thank you.
John?
Oh, no, it's open mouth.
Wait,
That's
John.
bad.
John,
That's
can
bad.
you do it?
Rough.
No. The first one was
good.
funny. Though.
Did you say roof?
Rough. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, we have a game to
Woof.
play. Let's play
Wait,
the
wait,
game.
wait. Mine.
Oh, go ahead.
Wow.
We definitely peaked.
Headphone users beware.
Beware.
Jeez.
Really? Wow. I feel like I'm understanding. I'm
Go
like,
ahead.
really? Okay,
Go ahead.
good. I did.
That was
mine.
bad.
It was
Do
awesome.
a good one.
funny, though.
Do a good one.
I don't know.
so
What's the
funny.
key to a good bark?
Do like a Pomeranian. You could do a
No,
Pomeranian.
no, it's not
that was
good.
better.
No, sounds like Scooby Doo.
Reggie.
Yeah, it
This
sounds like
episode is
Scooby.
off the rails. I love it.
Okay.
Let's play a game.
Where are you? Got some work to do now. Go on, Scooby-Doo. I see you.
Game time.
Game time.
Hey, Olivia has a game for us today. Ooh, wow. That is piercing. Wow.
You know you got a mystery to solve. Okay, go ahead. Let's play the game. Are we playing the game?
This
or-
is called What Would You Do? Do you remember that
played
show?
it before.
What Would You Do?
What would you do?
don't
What
think we
would
have.
you
We
do?
definitely
Would you
played it
rather?
Well, okay.
Have you done it?
Wow.
Well, do you remember that show, What Would You Do? And
Have
it was
you done
like
it?
a fake baby is in a car and all the windows are rolled up.
yes.
What would you do?
Or yeah,
I would do nothing because it's a fake baby.
It's still on air.
Oh,
I
is
saw one where the other day where it was
Think
like
you're right.
these kids came in and this girl, what did she have? She had a lisp or something. It was something. Not maybe it was
Go ahead.
a stutter or something like that.
Okay.
And these kids came in, they're like, it was so bad. It was awful. Like, if I watched it, I'd be like, okay, there's something going on here. Because it was the kids were like, you're
Fake.
such a loser. And they're like,
Would
making
you?
fun of her.
What would you do?
Oh my gosh, I hate you.
I feel like in that situation, I don't know. I'm very disassociative. Like if there's a thing going on, I will very rarely like jump in.
Get
involved,
Because
yeah.
I'm like one, I'm never, especially because of the pandemic too. Like I'm never like in a public place for very long. Like it's usually like you're grabbing something
Sure.
and
Yeah.
leaving. So it's like if you're hanging out there, it barely ever happens. But I don't know. I wouldn't step in. I don't know.
All right, let's go on with the game.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Game.
What would you do?
Okay, I don't even know if like there's a good answer to this question,
Go
but what would you do if your mother turned into a zombie right in front of your eyes?
Killer.
Easy.
Really?
Killer.
She's
You
a
have to.
zombie.
You wouldn't just let her turn you into a zombie?
No.
What
I don't
kind
know.
of answer is that?
Let
Olivia, come
her
on.
turn
I'm
you
just saying,
into a zombie
like,
too.
it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, you have to live alone and survive, or you could just be a zombie with your mom.
Or like,
Do you wait? Question: would you be a conscious zombie? Do you know that you're a zombie, or would you just be like
no
dead?
way, that's
Dead.
not a thing. You just
You're
be
just
dead.
dead.
Oh, like the movie, what is it? The zombie. He
World
like
War
ends
Z?
up getting a heart.
Warm bodies.
Warm
yeah,
bodies?
warm
Is it a
bodies.
warm body situation?
Is it a warm bodies?
That's questions that we need
Or,
answered before we
Santa
say.
Clarita diet or whatever.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, she's a
dumb.
cannibal?
Oh.
Is she a zombie in that show?
I don't think she's just a cannibal.
No, she dies.
She's a
she dies
zombie.
and she comes
she's
back
a
to life and
zombie.
she eats.
She's not.
I didn't know
Dumb.
that.
I saw the pilot to that
Yeah,
show.
we watched one episode and it was done.
They got canceled and they left it on a cliffhanger.
Good.
But I would say I'd have to kill her. I mean, there was one.
Yeah.
There was one Walking Dead thing where, like, it was one of the guys that came on character, and he like kept his daughter as a zombie like in this barn because
Second
he couldn't-
season.
because
Yep.
he couldn't because it couldn't get to like killing her, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That was
Kids would be
Herschel's
Yeah.
daughter, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
it
it?
Yeah.
was. Yep.
I remember when they let the zombies out and she came out last, and
Yep.
everyone was like,
Oh,
and Herschel was like,
yes.
don't kill, and then
Yes,
they killed
it was
her,
so
and she was
sad.
Oh,
Spoiler.
I'd kill
Devastating.
her mom though.
Yep. Same.
oh my god.
Dude, did you
Out of context,
did you
that
watch
sounds rough.
did you
That
watch
should
the
be a
entirety
clip.
of that show?
No, I haven't.
What a
Good.
great show turned bad. It
Yeah.
got so dumb.
Well, that show is like Hollywood embodied in the sense
Yeah.
that like they
They
saw
didn't know
a
when to
money
cancel it.
grab and they're
Yeah.
like,
Let's keep going.
keep going.
Oh, and they didn't. There's like another series that's still going.
Well, the hard part is like it's based off a comic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the hard part is like if you center it around one person, kind of like what they did.
Yeah.
They centered it around like that sheriff guy, right?
Rick.
But if you don't like follow the comic because you like people start getting attached to characters,
Yeah.
it just gets weird.
They did the Game of Thrones thing where they ran out of source material but kept making the show.
Yep.
And that's where it's
So
like you gotta,
dumb.
it's almost better when you end on like Game of Thrones ended, right?
Yeah,
And
but that was the same. So there was like they weren't done writing the books, but they just kept doing the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And so it was
then-
like,
but they
we'll make
ended
up.
it, right?
Yeah,
They're like, "Wait,
eventually.
it's done for good.
Oh, the series
I know.
finale was like really bad.
I never watched it.
Oh, really? Never watched it. Probably never will.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really bad.
Anyways, back to the zombie
Anyways, what
thing.
would you do? Next question.
If you had $1 million for one day,
Mm-hmm.
and after that one day, you would have no more $1 million. You can only spend it that one day.
Okay.
What would you do?
I'm in a Mr. Beast video. Mr. Beast.
Yeah, you just have $1 million for that singular day. Where would you
Do
go?
I get to
what
keep?
would you do?
Wait. Do
Are
I
there
get to
also
keep whatever I
rules?
buy?
Yeah, you can.
So
I'm
you
gonna
can't
say
buy
no.
things?
I'm gonna say no
Oh.
because then you could sell those things
Yeah, that's
potentially
not-
and
I'm
make
trying
that
to
money.
think about yeah.
It's only the experience of the
then
day.
I'd go for like a really nice
Oh.
meal somewhere.
Would you have
Probably-
anywhere in
I'd
mind?
fly somewhere.
In my head, it's Club 33 at Disneyland.
Okay, I get up at 4:30 in the morning.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Fly to
Colorado.
Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Cute.
I would fly somewhere and have like dinner in
Yeah.
Italy or something. Like, can you even get to
yeah.
Italy?
You only get a
24
day
hours?
though. Can
Yeah,
you get
you
there in
Yeah,
one day?
you like spend the whole day in like a first class flight. Not
Which
worth
is
it.
nice. No,
Not
you
worth
could
it.
like jet,
I don't know.
what's it called? With $1 million? Yeah, you,
You
could get
could
private
spend
jet for a day.
like something on it on like a
Go ahead.
cruise, I guess.
I just had
A vision?
that was weird
Oh?
because I literally just popped in my head. I would rent a cruise ship for the full day. It has everything, like the workers, everything are still on it.
Around the bay.
And just have a loop and have like all of
Would
your
you?
friends and
That's pretty
you
fun.
get all the food.
Personal
you
cruise
get the
ship.
pool.
Here's what I
Yes,
do.
that's so cool.
I mean, that's cool.
I'm not a Disneyland guy, but I would.
You're not.
I would pay to have like one of those people who walk you around Disneyland and like cut all the lines. I'd live it up. I'd live it up.
That's
You think
pretty
that
cool.
costs $1 million? I feel like
No.
we could do that now.
Well, that could be a part of your day. Maybe
You guys,
you like.
we gotta
I
go
don't know.
big.
Yeah, I'd rent
What
a
is considered
Lamborghini
big?
to drive to Disneyland.
Like a really fancy.
So stupid.
Go to like Cordon Bleu or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is to have a nice dinner. So back off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, isn't there?
I want to go
Oh, you think that would
I
cost
want to go
$1
on
million?
Pirates of the Caribbean
Would
with
a
my
dinner
$1 million.
cost $1
With my $1
million?
million bucks. I'm gonna go on Pirates of the Caribbean.
You better be eating
A freaking
some amazing
$200
food.
Carnival cruise trip. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
No,
people.
I would-
Okay,
Come
but I've
on,
yet to hear
people.
your good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
You literally said go to
Get
dinner.
on a jet made of gold
All right.
So
well,
and
stupid.
fly into a diamond mountain and crash. Go ahead.
Okay, isn't there like a $500,000 pizza or something like?
Oh, you
yeah,
know what?
if you wanted
I'd buy
to.
a really big pizza.
You want a big pizza?
$5,000.
Or like
You
the
could
caviar, like the
We don't know
like
what's doing
du-
with
the
money.
We don't know what to do with
gold-
money.
The like gold caviar
don't deserve
sushi
it.
or
I mean,
something.
it's yeah.
No,
I
okay,
would go
I'll
for
tell you.
that.
I'll tell you.
Wagyu
I would-
beef in Japan.
No, I would rent a yacht in the morning with a personal chef, and my whole family could go on it. It has like a jacuzzi, slide, whatever. Then in the afternoon, I'd have Harry Styles perform for us. I don't know, somebody who I could afford on
That's good. Private concert.
What is that?
Private concert's a good idea.
Cameo.
Cameo.
I'd find somebody on Cameo. Probably have like Conan O'Brien show up at some point,
He
just like hang
MCs.
with us. Yeah. And then at night, I'd throw like a huge party with like a ton of like COVID, aside.
Right.
This is far
Pure
in the
COVID.
future or
You're
far
so
in the past.
insensitive.
Pure
I was just
COVID.
thinking, I was like, wow, how insensitive is
Throw a
that?
huge party.
And it has like a bunch of those like the like Benihana grills
Yeah.
with the chefs who are like cooking up food.
Oh, yeah.
And it has like a ton of like
Really nice food.
Like like appetizers that are like,
like a really
people
nice
walking
dinner.
around. No, like a
I know
party.
what I do.
Okay. With the Bee Gees performing.
I would do something similar to you, so don't
Okay.
be offended.
Oh.
I would spend the day, renting probably a nice car, drive around the city. Then I'd hire like a full crew to just do lip sync like professional
Oh my
level.
gosh.
Like massive
That's-
cameras,
that's
live
a good
stream,
answer.
And all I do is literally just show up, and I don't have to set up or break down anything. And I just have a few drinks. I host, have a good time,
Oh
laugh
my
it off.
gosh.
That
And
Yeah, that's
then
pretty
is a
good.
great answer.
and then once the show's over, we just get a bunch of party buses. And we all just go out and have a
Yeah.
good time.
Can I have some of your money to put on my performance?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
thank
no.
you.
That, I give like every performer like an actual budget of
Yeah.
like $5,000.
That would
is
be fantastic.
Dang.
That would be so fun.
That'd be fantastic.
Anyways,
Right, that was the right
Wow,
answer.
that was good. That was good.
You inspired me with the private performance. Anyways.
If you could spend a day with your 14-year-old self, what would you do?
Oh yikes!
Oh no! I would say don't do cheer.
Yeah, you can give them
Don't do
advice.
it.
Quit now.
Don't do
You
it.
can give yourself advice too.
Don't do cheer.
My 14-year-old
I'm
self.
dead. I would say stop wearing cargo shorts. No, I'm just kidding. I would.
Where would you take them?
Oh.
What would you do with them?
Hey, little guy.
Come here, give me a hug.
Could just skip school for a day.
Hey, little guy.
Let's go get a cheeseburger. Let's go have a good time.
Yeah, where would you go?
I don't know.
Like, do you remember places you loved when you were 14? Like,
Laser tag.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, we go laser tagging.
We go
We
laser
go to
tag.
Ultrazone.
That is so meta. I'm like going down a rabbit hole.
Right? I
Of
think
the
I would
idea of
take-
me being able to meet
With
my
your 14-year-old
younger
self.
And you could tell them advice too, like, hey, when you get into your junior year, don't expect to get good grades in this class or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Not worried about it now, and I wasn't worried about it then.
Or don't go to school this day because you're gonna get really embarrassed.
I don't know if like telling my 14-year-old self this would help or if it would just like freak him out more. But just like, don't worry about what other people think,
Yeah.
like trying to give good advice. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like I said, like would I get in my own head?
No, I think I would tell my younger self that because like when I go back to when I think back at that age, I was so like not knowing who I was. So I think I would just be like, hey, like don't
own
worry,
it.
it's all gonna be okay. Like you're gonna figure yourself out and
Like
you're gonna
do
have a
you
blast,
more.
you know.
Yeah.
And so it's like, don't be afraid. Cause I think fear holds me back.
Yeah.
Even today, sometimes fear holds me back. I'd be like, hey, have no fear. Just go out.
Just do
Yeah.
that
Do it.
thing.
Yeah.
And start lip sync earlier.
Oh my gosh.
I would have told myself to play tennis all 4 years in high school. It's something I regret. I only played 2
Don't
years.
talk to girls so much.
Oh.
Or don't think about girls so much.
Yeah, I was pretty self-absorbed in high school. Actually,
Yeah,
14 is
same.
probably right before I got that way.
Yeah, it's kind
So
of that
kinda-
like
kinda
transition. You're like a freshman and you just got out of 8th
15,
grade.
you're like the worst, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just be like, hey, go for it. And also like you said, don't worry about what anyone thinks. It's so stupid. I remember
Yeah.
wasting so much time like
Worried about like
and
that.
not like all night, but I just remember like thinking about it every once in a while and being like, oh, I'm so nervous what people were going to think. Or like even when I started the podcast 3 years ago, I was like, is anyone going to listen? It's like,
Right.
who cares?
I don't know if it's avoidable at that point though. You
Yeah.
know, like when you're in high school, it feels like because you're so surrounded by other people who are also insecure,
Yeah.
it feels like you are never going to get out of it.
Nonsense.
Because I remember taking that advice like in high school being like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to care what other people think. But then it's so difficult to
Yeah.
do that because you are in that environment so much, you know, like.
But how much cooler is it when you're with somebody that just loves what they love and does what they do, and like we're attracted to those people,
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
what
we
I
could,
think
like,
I would have
be
told
that
myself.
person for like just
Hang out with
don't
certain people
apologize
that were so
for
fun.
liking stuff that you like,
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
cool. Like do that more, and people gravitate towards that.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's what's hard is you kind of conform to like what other people like.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, well, I can't like, you know, this because nobody else likes it. Yeah, I don't know.
But like those people are also just conforming. Like
Right.
we're talking about a person that doesn't exist. This like other party that's like that's dumb. You're dumb. And it's
Yeah.
like those are just other people being like, yeah, you're right.
You know what? People are being themselves sometimes
Go ahead.
on TikTok.
theater kids.
Do we have some videos?
God, boo.
Well, thanks for the game. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
you know,
was-
anytime.
it was
What would you
low-
I
do?
gotta just say, worst transition of all time.
Okay.
Just not good. Not good.
That's not true.
lot.
Compared to some of the
That's a
transitions
lot.
in this
Okay.
episode.
I feel like
Ouch.
that's pretty attacking me, but that's all right.
Yeah, it was for you, not me.
My deep fake transition was pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right,
my
this is the part of the
gosh.
show. Wait.
Oh.
I'm prepared this time. Ryan and John react.
Wow.
Hey, great game, Olivia. What was that
Thank
game
you.
called again?
What would you do?
What would you do? And we will be playing it again because I feel like I kind of got.
Existential?
Whoa, yeah.
what we love to do
I
here.
was watching myself.
Yeah,
sit in
yeah,
this
yeah.
chair. Anyways, go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Ryan, I thought you'd appreciate this. You have cats. Cara?
Yep.
All right. It's a cat. He's dancing.
It's a little stuttery.
Oh,
Oh, wow. All right, feel about
Poor
that.
little guy.
chicken.
Yeah, do you think that's bad?
You jump. It's a little bit
Would you jump?
animal abuse.
What
but
would
it's
you
all right.
do?
PETA.
What would you do? Oh my
For
god.
sure jump. Oh, so awesome. So awesome. I would do it.
Dang.
Would you jump?
It's so intense at the beginning.
I like the music.
I know.
Touch loud, but it's all right.
Stranger.
So gnarly.
Wow.
Is that a thing on TikTok or just like on the internet in general? Like, word. Like the bass drop is like so like
That's a whole genre of music. I think.
Dubstep?
pickle
Is it
juice.
electronic music?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
EDM?
EDM?
Like EDM, but like,
Like in New Girl?
Whoop.
When
oh my
Schmidt
god.
tries to make it.
Oh wow.
It's like, it's the best music ever. And like, it's awful.
Okay, ready?
Oh, this looks
Here's
amazing.
everything that I made in my kitchen this week. I made some churro
Nutella?
waffles with chocolate sauce. I recorded a YouTube video on how
That's
to make
the meal
olive garden
prepping I
chicken
wanna
gnocchi
do.
soup and breadsticks.
Oh.
I have a TikTok recipe up for it already, but I thought I would record it for YouTube.
You
as well.
guys, we need to try and
Mozzarella
make this
stuffed
stuff.
jalapenos and
Oh,
pulled
wow.
bread. My favorite thing I made this week, it was so
I'm
amazing.
so hungry right
Green
now.
tea,
Me
strawberry
too.
jam danishes,
My
chocolate
mouth
snickerdoodle
is
stuffed with cream.
watering.
Lastly, I made some Oreo cinnamon rolls.
What is she
Next,
doing all
I
day?
make the savory pull-apart bread.
Making
There's a
money on
recipe up
TikTok.
for it already, but the YouTube video for it will be up tomorrow. But that's everything that I made
On
for you
YouTube.
Okay.
She
too.
has YouTube videos for these.
Insane.
Isn't that insane?
Her job is
so
to
hungry.
make that kind of food
And
all the time.
it's all incredible like that. Like every one of her videos, it's like, oh my gosh, like it just
She
looks
pulls
so
it apart in
good.
the steam. Oh.
Yes, yes,
Dang.
yes.
I'm starving, so let's end this thing.
Yeah.
How about that, huh?
Wrap it up, please.
if you made it this far and you've listened to this chaotic episode, I think it was chaotic, but let me say I enjoyed it, and I think people will enjoy it too. So thanks for listening. If you're still here, and Ryan closes us out with a really slow song. Sounds like "Thank You" next.
Oh, it does.
Oh. From all of us here at WTP, make somebody laugh today.
I still love it.
We'll see you next week on
What
the
Podcast.
Podcast.
Peace out.